Hello, my friends. Master Sommelier Peter Neptune here with an addition to my YouTube channel on Grenache. A fantastic varietal, very widely grown around the world and an important grape varietal. We think that it originated in Aragon in northern Spain and then was, of course, brought east to Priorat, brought to Sardinia, brought to the south of France where it's known as Grenache. We grow it here in California. They do an amazing job with it in Australia, particularly the McLaren Vale and the Barossa Valley. And I've got three wonderful examples of this amazing varietal. It transmits terroir very, very well. It's a thin-skinned grape variety. I mean, look at the colors here. This is medium ruby with a garnet rim. This thing is pale garnet. I mean, almost looks like a rosé, and this is definitely a pale ruby with a garnet rim. So you don't get a lot of color from Grenache, but that doesn't matter. That's not the point. It takes a long time to ripen. It reaches high sugar levels, therefore gives us wine with high alcohol, moderate tannin, moderate acidity. But there's a lot of dry extract in Grenache, and so we get a lot of wine. The thing is, you got to keep the yields down. Now, normally nature will do that for us we grow bush vines, keep them low to the ground. Most of the areas where Grenache is grown, it's not very fertile, and the vines naturally, keep yields reduced. But you do have to make sure that your yields are reasonably low with Grenache, otherwise you're not going to have very good wine. I've got three examples here that I'm really thrilled to share with you. One is from the Calatayud area of Aragon in northern Spain. One is from what I consider to be the best producer in Paso Robles, Tablas Creek Vineyard, who brought over clones from Chateau Beaucastel in Châteauneuf-du-Pape and have these mother clones that they brought over. And then what's arguably the best Grenache in the world, you can write me and argue, which is fine. That's the whole point. But this is an ancestor vine Grenache from the Barossa Valley, from Yalumba. These vines are well over 130 years old. It's just amazing. There are some surviving Grenache vines, probably among the oldest in the world, still in the Barossa Valley. They were brought over and planted in the 1847s, 1848s, 1849. Long time ago, yeah. So right off the bat, this wine is the Breca El Nacido. Bodegas Breca El Nacido 2022. It's $14.99 at our friends at High Time Wine Cellars. Shout out, guys, in Costa Mesa. Evidently, this is from Garnacha de Aragon, the oldest cultivar of Grenache in the world, the oldest clone in the world, cultivated around this area by the Kingdom of Aragon, the Crown of Aragon. This area, Calatayud, along with its nearby Campo de Borja and Cariñena, are ground zero for Grenache, for Garnacha. There's this rocky slate and quartz soil that dates back a long time. This is over 2,000 feet above sea level. So there's a misperception that all the Spanish wine is located along the Mediterranean. There's this great meseta in the middle of the country that's way high desert. And this is well over 2,000 feet above sea level, dry farmed, organic. No new oak on this wine, aged in concrete and larger barrels. So off the bat here, we get this really beautiful Grenache aroma of cherries and strawberries and raspberries. It should always be red fruit. There's a warm smell to it. It's warm Mediterranean herbs, warm sage. White pepper is a very typical aroma descriptor for Grenache or Garnacha, as well as clove. The whole thing, it smells sunny. It smells, high desert. It just smells really amazing, and there's a candied aroma to the thing. It smells warm, and that's not just alcohol. I mean, it just smells like warmth, warm, rocky riverbed radiating heat back up onto the vines. Really beautiful aroma. On the palate, dry, acidity medium, tannin medium minus. Alcohol's high. Body is pretty full, medium plus. Intensity is pronounced, and the finish is quite long. Finish is long. There's a lot of wine for the money. This is only $14.99. You get a feeling of old vine fruit here, concentrated, a lot of dry extract. There's a nice palate feel here. There's a lot of wine going on here. And it's just got this warmth and this kind of really Garnacha-y feel to it that immediately takes you to Grenache. And there's just something about the Grenache, the Garnacha from this area that it's like warm stones and warm, candied cherry, candied strawberry. There's a little bit of dried fruit, like fruit roll-up or fruit leather, and this nice white pepper clove thing happening all at the same time. That's, very, very good wine, outstanding for the price, $14.99, and just a real heck of a bottle of wine right there for that kind of price. That's a Best Buy. All day, all year, 365, 24/7. Bravo. Imported by the great Jorge Ordonez Selections, one of the first people to really seriously import Spanish wine into the United States. Up next, the great Tablas Creek. They're in the Adelaida district of Paso Robles, and this is $39.99 at our friends at High Time. Certified organic and biodynamic. They brought over clones from Chateau Beaucastel. This is a co-venture between the late Robert Haas, now his son Jason runs the property, and the Perrin family of Chateau Beaucastel. Shout out to the Perrins. If you're watching, love you guys. Haven't seen you in a while, but always love you. They brought over clones from Chateau Beaucastel of almost all of the 13 varietals of Chateauneuf-du-Pape, put them through the process that you have to do to get approved, being virus-free, couple-year process. And now, Tablas Creek is the supplier of these clones, these Beaucastel clones that are the original clones from the south of France. They're also an amazing plant station. They grow their own rootstocks, and they have American rootstocks available for grafting these vinifera plants onto. So what they're doing there is really great. I'm a big fan of Tablas, and I think they just do a great job. So this is very pale. This is very pale. It almost looks like a rosé. In fact, it does. And it's got, I can read through it easily. It's a very pale garnet color. But boy, a very, very powerful nose. Very Grenache-like. This is not quite as baked fruit, not quite as dried fruit. This is a vivid, almost sour cherry, raspberry, strawberry character here. We get the white pepper, we get the clove, but there's this kind of tar, little smoky tar over the top, roasted herbs like rosemary on the grill, roasted sage, a really, really beautiful aroma of pure Grenache, and it's got a very old world aroma to it. They don't use any new oak. They use neutral 1,200-gallon oak foudre, which, bravo. I don't think that new oak necessarily and Grenache is that great of a combo. The varietal can really transmit site climate, terroir, into the glass. And boy, if I didn't know better, I might think I was somewhere in the south of France. On the palate, yeah, it's really, really good wine. Don't let the color fool you, ever. This is a mouthful of wine, beautiful concentration, great thrust and definition. Red fruit, there's a little bit of orange peel here. Sour cherry, red raspberry, strawberry, clove, white pepper, grilled rosemary, grilled sage. Is there such a thing as grilled sage? Long finish. Very beautifully structured, mouth-filling, dry, acid's medium, tannin's medium. A little more tannin than the Brecca. Tannin's medium plus. Get a little more grip here on this wine. Intensity is pronounced. Body is full. Alcohol is probably just high. This is a full point. This has got to be 15%, yes. And this has got to be 14%, yes. So just barely high alcohol, but it's quite well balanced. It's got a really nice mouthfeel. This is outstanding wine. Bravo to Tablas Creek. I really like it a lot. I think it's very pure. I think it's got a lot of varietal consistency and character. And I think it's just an outstanding bottle of Grenache for $39.99 from our dear friends Tablas Creek. Bravo to you. Up here is the 2022 Yalumba Tricentenary Grenache Barossa Valley Ancestor Vine, $54.99. Might be the greatest $55 bottle of wine on planet Earth. This is from vines that were planted in 1889 in Yalumba's nursery vineyard. This is 2 acres with 820 gnarly old bush vines that were planted. And the deal here that's a trip, and I don't know, I go, how did they do this? They do a 372-day, that's over a year, post-ferment maceration on the skins. How they do that, I don't know. I don't know. But this has been a favorite wine of mine for years. Barossa Valley is the only appellation in the world to actually have a legal definition for old vine material. An old vine must be over 35 years old. A survivor vine must be over 70 years old. A centenarian vine must be over 100 years old. And an ancestor vine must be over 125 years old. Ancestor vine. Wow, that's just amazing. Just amazing. So let's check out the wine. Medium ruby in color. Incredible intense nose, bursting with, strawberry, cherry, raspberry, black raspberry. There's a real sense of stewed fruit here. Confiture, raspberry cherry jam, strawberry preserves. It bursts out of the glass. There's this lifted floral peony and red floral aroma, almost like hyacinth. Almost like Hawaiian flowers, like a lei of Hawaiian flowers. It's so lifted and so gracious that it's a beguiling aroma that has got the white pepper, it's got the clove, it's got everything we expect from Grenache, but there's something else here. There's something else going on. It's really intense, really floral, really moving. It's got a personality and a vibe that's fantastic. Let's check out the palate. Wow. Yeah, that's great wine. It's perfect wine. Perfect wine. Dry, acidity medium, tannin. Man, a 1 year maceration, tannin medium plus. Alcohol's just 14, just high. Body is full, intensity is pronounced, finish is unbelievably long. Dusty, dust, powdered clay. Medium plus tannin. There's this feeling of the sandy, deep sandy loam of the Barossa Valley. You can taste it in this wine. Deep sandy loam soil. Dusty, absolutely amazing red fruit. And the fruit's fresh and kind of stewed at the same time. There's a vibe here. Like I said, there's this vibrancy that the wine has. There's tons of dry extract. I'll bet there's more than 30 grams per liter of dry extract in this wine. You feel these dissolved solids. It's quite uplifting. This is outstanding wine. This is perfect wine. It's just great, and it's a pleasure. I've known this wine for many years. I've been buying it for many years, and I wanted to share it with you because I think it's one of the great bottles of wine in the world. Hopefully you can find it out there and have the pleasure of trying it if you're a wine lover. So this has just been a fun, Tablas Creek, outstanding wine. This is very good. It's outstanding value. This is the Tablas Creek, by the way, Grenache. And I really enjoyed this episode, and I'll continue to explore this varietal, maybe looking at Châteauneuf-du-Pape alongside Gigondas, alongside Vaqueiras, things like that. I'm going to be going to the Rhone Valley very soon and reporting from there. So look for those videos because it'll be the first time I'll be shooting outside of the studio here. But keep an eye out for those. As always, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, and we'll see you next time.